You get home from work exhausted. You know you should work on your business, but all you want to do is sit down on the sofa and watch Netflix. So you promise yourself you'll do it tomorrow again. Does this sound like a familiar story? Have you had those thoughts before when getting back from work, trying to build the business of your dreams, but you just can't get the motivation and stay consistent to actually do it? Well, you're not alone, because most people never build their dream business because they can't stay consistent after work. But today, I'm going to give you a system that will change all of that. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to stay consistent, even when you feel tired, distracted, and short on time. This is how I built a business that generated £250,000 worth of sales while still working in a 9-to-5 job. If you're new to the channel, my name is James Eardley. I founded the Relentless Co community, and a few years ago, I was working full-time in a corporate 9-to-5 job, trying to figure out how I was ever going to get to my dream lifestyle and build something for myself. Now, fast forward a few years, I run a couple of online businesses and I travel the world doing it as well. And for me, it all came down to consistency and being able to follow the same action repeatedly, even while having a 9-to-5 job at the same time. And it all came down to consistency. So let's dive in now to those 4 steps that help me to stay consistent and show you how you can apply them too. So step 1 is my own unique take on motivation. And I haven't heard it spoken about this, not very often anyway, because let's be real, motivation fades. And the idea of having to feel motivated and get yourself motivated to do work might work for the first week when you start running a business and you go after a new business model. But over time, motivation fades. When you've had a busy day at work and you're feeling shattered, or maybe it's not been a good day, sometimes the only thing you want to do is kick your feet up and relax and not get to work. But realistically, if you do that too many times in a row, you'll never get to your ideal business. So we have to put something in place. We have to have a new source of motivation that means we carry on despite the feelings that we're having. So the truth is, the way that I was able to manipulate this in my life was that I didn't need to have more motivation. I didn't need to read more motivational quotes. I didn't need people to get me excited to work again on my business. What I really needed was I needed to associate more pain with inconsistency. So I truly believe if you're not taking action, if you're not staying consistent in building a business alongside a 9-to-5 job, it's not because you're lazy, it's because you haven't been able to make it painful enough for yourself to fail. So ask yourself these questions. What happens if you stay stuck in your 9-to-5 job and you don't build the dream lifestyle that you want? What does it cost for you to stay the same? And who would you be letting down by not going all in and achieving the goal that you want? Visualize the answers to those questions and visualize and feel that pain daily. So I answered these questions in my mind and I was able to build up a significant amount of pain and even shame around those thoughts and feelings about what would happen if I didn't succeed. So for me, this works so well because I now understood that taking the actions even when I was tired after work was a lot less painful than allowing myself off the hook to fail and to let people down. So it just gave me it's motivation, but it's motivation that never fades because you don't need somebody to get you G'd up. If you just tap into that on a daily basis, it's constant reminders of how important it is to you. So what we need to get it to the point is when the pain of inaction has to be stronger than the pain of doing the work, and then you will take action. Now, on to step 2. We need to remove confusion. There's so much information in the world right now. There's so many different business models, and it's so easy to get confused by what actions you actually need to take to build the business or get to the ideal lifestyle that you need to build for yourself. And ultimately, confusion will kill your consistency. So if you don't know what to do each day, you'll just procrastinate, and you'll spend more time thinking about what to do than you'll actually spend doing the actions that you need to take. So you need to remove the decision-making element and the confusion from your work blocks. So this is how I did it. So I would set a daily task the night before. So I knew exactly what was the one most important task that I needed to complete the next day. And I'd make sure it was important to make sure that that was the one task that would be the most needle moving in the business that would actually make the difference. And I just kept a simple task list. I used a planner. So I've been using Legend planners now for like 4 or 5 years. But in this, it breaks down all the days of the week. And so I was able to write down the day before my most important task for the next day. So that means when I wake up, I didn't have to think about what I was doing. I could see what I needed to do and I would just work on it straight away. And all the confusion was cut out. I was clearly defined about what I needed to do that day. And if you do that consistently enough, then you'll make incredible things happen. So for you right now, think about what is the most important task that you take with your business that actually moves you closer to your goal. Do you know what that is? If you don't, then I can help you with that inside the Relentless Code community, because I think it's something that really holds people back is procrastination and confusion about what to actually do. So I've provided resources inside the Relentless Code community, which I'll show you now. The first way you can remove confusion using this free community is by using the community tab and asking questions about what it is you should focus on. See people in here sharing things that they're working on, asking questions about what they need to do to move forward. And you've got access to entrepreneurs in here, people that are making things happen, and they'll help you out on your journey. As well as the community tab, there's loads of resources here inside the classroom. And one in particular, this focus blueprint, is designed so that you can understand exactly what you need to take, what actions you need to take. And it helps you to master your focus in taking the important actions that move the needle for your business. So that's all there for you free of charge. Check it out after watching this video. Now, the third step that I implemented to stay consistent was to make it easy for myself and reduce the friction, because people make it too hard to be consistent. So the way you fix this, the way I fixed it, was that I reduced the friction in terms of the environment that was around me, and I lowered the bar to build momentum. So removing distractions meant that I would put my phone away from me when I knew that I was on a work block. I would delete certain apps on my phone. I'd make sure that I had headphones on. I was in a fairly dark space with like hood up headphones on so I could just focus on the tasks that I needed to do. Made sure that I wasn't going to be notified by anything while I was doing that. And then in terms of the people I was around, I made sure to get around communities and mentorship around people that I aspired to be like, so that it became easier to take the actions that I could see everyone around me was taking. And then I lowered the bar for how much I needed to do each day. So I just started off by doing like 15 minutes per day on my goals. And then I built that up over time to 30 minutes a day. And then I'd build that up to an hour before work every single day. And eventually I can do 2-3 hour work blocks nowadays, because I'm able to focus and stay consistent for that long. But initially, lower the bar. Make it easy to stay consistent. Tell yourself that every day you're going to do 15 minutes on the most important task for your business. And it's easy then to get into that. So that's step 3, make it easy. And finally, step 4, the last step in bringing this all together to make sure that you're consistent, is to celebrate your progress along the way. When you have a big goal, like for me, it was making 10K a month online, you don't just get there overnight. There will be lots of micro wins that happen in between where you are today to the ultimate goal that you want to get to. And it's important that you just don't just disregard those, thinking that it's not where you want to be. All of those micro goals are indications, they're milestones, and they're lead measures that show you that you're on the right path towards your goal. So the best thing you can do when you hit those milestones is to celebrate them and to mark them in some way and enjoy the moment. Because when you do that, you give yourself a little dopamine hit, you pat yourself on the back, and it feels so much better to continue because you're enjoying the process. So when I was building my first e-commerce business, when I would sign a supplier, I would spend some time celebrating. My dog was usually in the room with me when I was on the phone, and I signed a supplier and I'd put the phone down and I'd celebrate with my dog. Small things like that. Give yourself a dopamine hit. Give yourself a little bit of pleasure in that moment to enjoy what you've just achieved. And then you'll have that motivation back in to doing the work. So every time you stick to your goals, even if you've just done 15 minutes of work on yourself instead of sitting and watching TV, pat yourself on the back for that. Make it feel enjoyable. Give yourself dopamine hits. Give yourself the progress and recognize when you're taking action, because it will make it enjoyable. And when you enjoy it, when you have progress, it will become addictive and you'll want to feel that all the time, and that'll keep pushing you in the right direction. So those are the 4 steps that I followed to stay consistent. And I guarantee if you stick to those 4 steps, you'll make massive changes in your life, because anything worthwhile, there needs to be consistency first before you can achieve it. So to wrap up, the truth is you're not lazy. If you feel like you're not being consistent, you're not lazy. You've got a busy full-time job and you're trying to build a business alongside. It's not going to be something that lazy people can do. So you're not lazy at all. What it is, you just need to have a system. You need to make it easy for yourself, and you need to make sure that your environment around you is working for you, not against you. So if you could take away from this video, if you master your motivation through increasing the pain of inaction, if you remove confusion about what you need to do, if you make it easy for yourself and then celebrate success, you'll become unstoppable and you'll actually become relentless if you go on to do all of that and join the Relentless Code community that's completely free to join. So jump in using the link in the description, and I can't wait to see you in there. So remember, you don't need to do everything. You just need to do something every day over time. So with that said, let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Let me know what you think inside the community, and I'll catch you in the next video.